Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here, and today I want to talk about Forza Horizon 5 again and things that Playground Games could implement in order to make Horizon 5 the best title in the series. Now, so far I've kind of steered away from making wishlist videos, as so far Playground Games really hasn't revealed much at all, and I'm happy to just wait and see what they have in store for us. But of course, with the Horizon series, there's always going to be suggestions made, and from many that I've read in my comment section of my videos, a lot of them are so far out of the Horizon experience realm or so demanding that it's just simply not feasible to be brought in, at least for now. But today I really wanted to make this video because coming from Forza Horizon 4, I felt there were a handful of small things or features that could be tweaked or brought in to improve the quality of life and make the game better. These aren't huge requests like more customizations or make a bigger map, these are simply quite small. So with all that said, I do hope we see some of these requests implemented in Horizon 5. Let me know what you agree or disagree with as we take a look at 7 small features that could easily be brought in for Forza Horizon 5. Starting off with number 1, tire smoke. This one has been a request for quite some time now, particularly from players within the drifting or burnout community. There's nothing more unsatisfying than seeing barely any smoke coming out from your tires when you are ripping through a drift zone or burning the rears at standstill in your dirty V8 muscle car. Now, I do believe there's a very legit reason as to why Playground Games opt for such limited smoke effects, and that is because it may impede on other players' visibility. With that said though, creating machinima of these driving showcases just doesn't evoke the same emotion it should. Here's a clip from a modder known as Chrome who modified a debugged version of Forza Horizon 3 to include more tire smoke, and look just how amazing it is. There's an exciting amount of realism in this clip. Now in Forza Horizon 5, we do see a small glimpse of the Corvette C8 drifting, and it's a bit hard to judge if tire smoke has been improved. We will have to wait for more updates on this, but for me, the more smoke, the better, and if visibility is of a concern for Playground Games, just give us some preset graphical options for the tire smoke ranging from legacy, which is what we currently have, all the way to realistic. Number 2, manual on a wheel. One thing that annoyed me a lot in Horizon 4 or any of the past Horizon titles for that matter is that if you are playing with a wheel and you choose manual with clutch, it applies to all the cars you drive. This is very frustrating because, for instance, let's say you are in a Subaru WRX STI, you choose to drive manual with clutch as it's the most realistic option, and also it shifts faster than if you are just choosing manual. However, if I swap from my Subaru to a Koenigsegg Jesko for example, the manual with clutch still applies. And I don't know about you, but using a H-pattern shifter in a hypercar or paddle shifting while using a clutch is just outright silly. We all know cars like the Jesko uses paddle shifters, yet each time I have to go into the menus and change the shifting back to manual because the game doesn't recognize that some cars just don't use a clutch anymore. I can't believe no one has really talked about this at all. However, I do offer a couple of suggestions to improve upon this dilemma. One, you could add an additional option known as the realistic manual transmission, where cars that have a stick shift will force players to use manual with clutch on their wheel setup, while vehicles featuring a dual clutch or paddle shift transmission will disable the clutch and shifter, forcing them to use their paddles. Or 2, and this is more of a dirt rally style approach, but you can have all the different manual options available at your disposal, meaning if I'm driving any car, should I change gears on my H-pattern shifter without a clutch, I can, or if I want to use my paddle shifters, I can as well, and if I want to clutch kick to execute a drift, I can also do that too. I believe this would be the best option as it covers preference, flexibility, and realism too. Number 3, let me become a traffic car. I gotta be honest, this feature is not one that I really care for, but the community seems to be requesting this feature repeatedly, and that is turn signals and high beams. We know this feature is possible as we see it in a traffic car all the time, Block one of them while you are free roaming and watch them use their high beams to tell you to get out of the way, and if you don't, they will use their indicators to turn out and overtake you. I'm still not exactly sure as to why this is such a highly requested feature. I guess it could be used for camouflage challenges, but even so, you can't drive any of the traffic cars to be truly camouflaged. I know the Test Drive Unlimited series features this, and I don't necessarily believe a Horizon game would truly benefit from using turn signals or high beams. I don't know, I could be very wrong about this. Let me know in the comment section as to why this is such an important feature. Number 4, eliminate auction house tax. This is an open world racer, not a car auction simulator. I know we've seen this in Horizon 3 and Horizon 4, and it's kind of flown under the radar, but I ask, why do we really have to pay for tax or commission for selling a car in a video game where its main focus is about location, cars, and driving? I've always found it a little weird that out of all the areas of realism they could have implemented in a Horizon game, the developers chose the auction house as one. It's virtual money at the end of the day, and we're not here to do maths. Either completely remove the tax deduction from the auction house, or at least let the players know how much credits we are going to lose after tax when we sell a car, because this is what's going to happen. Assuming auction house will be a thing in Horizon 5, new players are going to play this game for their first time, and at some point they will decide to try and sell a car through the auction house, and when they don't receive all of their credits based on the final buyout price, guess what's going to happen? The same questions on how come I didn't get all my credits when I sold my car will be asked over again. I mean, having a final after-tax price is not necessarily that big of a thing, but it certainly will help newcomers understand what's going on, or you could just remove the tax altogether. Number 5, bring back proper post-race cinematics. I think this Reddit meme here sums it up the best. If we really look at this from an analytical point of view, starting from how our Forza Horizon 4 journey begins, I mean, we start off in this white space and then we are presented with the United Kingdom. We enter right in and our journey begins. The same white space can be seen in the menus and also at the end of a race. Is Playground Games suggesting that we are in a simulation? Because if you remember the beginning of Forza Horizon 3, the cutscene began at an airport, presumably right after a flight from Italy. I just think it was a design element that was relatively confusing, probably because the developers didn't fully commit to the thesis behind it, and all it made me assume was that the developers were lazy with the cutscenes, so a white studio was just easier to make. Please, no more quote-unquote simulation post-race celebrations. We want exciting pyros with crowds roaring for us after our victories again. That's the feel of a real Forza Horizon Festival spirit. Number 6, 900-degree wheel rotation. Honestly, at this point, I feel as though the entire Forza series, both Motorsport and Horizon, are behind when it comes to the wheel rotation animation. Yeah, sure, you could get away with it 10 years ago where most players were just using a gamepad, but not anymore. Look at the games like Gran Turismo Sport, where even using a controller still shows proper steering wheel rotation. Sure, it's dampened by a huge margin if you compare it with a proper sim racing wheel, but it's still there. Better yet, Project Cars 3. The feel of using a controller in that game is excellent and doesn't get enough credit for it. But with the Horizon series, even with a steering wheel setup, the wheel animation only rotates at 90 degrees. You might argue that, yeah, you probably won't be using the full 900-degree wheel rotation in a Horizon game anyways, as it's too slow, but at least match our input in the animation. This is possibly the one question or request we want to know and see in Forza Horizon 5. And lastly, number 7, no more novelty expansions. We get it, the Hot Wheels expansion was great, and I kind of alluded to this in one of my previous videos, but when something is so good and you try to recapture that glory, more often than not, it fails. I'm not saying that the LEGO expansion was a failure, but it was a disappointment compared to what Hot Wheels had to offer. I don't think many of us want another collaboration like this again, whether it's, I don't know, Scalex Trick, the Cars movie, or whatever it could be. I think from now onwards, the community will be much happier to see some real expansions that actually expand upon the main map. You could even cover a second country within proximity if you don't think that particular location is big enough to be featured as a main Horizon title. I know this one is quite a big request, but it's the principle behind the planning that doesn't take much to alter. I guess that is what I'm suggesting. How would you guys like to see Playground Games plan their 2 expansions? Let me know down in the comment section below. But anyways, those are 7 small features that could easily be implemented for Forza Horizon 5. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash a thumbs up button, as that would really help me out. And also, if you guys would like to see more Forza Horizon 5 news and some possible early gameplay, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.